Hello, welcome. Gamed Out Gamer here. Today I got a Craigslist find and saw it listed, and I have never had this retro computing here. I have never had one of these computers before. Always wanted one, did not have one. Now I do. Wow, this is crazy stuff. Alright, in the box. Hey, don't read the title of the video because... Alright, let's see what we have. Retro computing. Wow, here we go. See if I can get some more light for you guys. Deep in here we have some stuff, Atari 8-bit stuff. The computer's at the bottom. Look at this. This was 60 bucks. Really good deal. Look at these, all these Atari cartridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 cartridges. 21. Look at this, Leo's electric paintbrush. Wow, this is a deal. Oh, I got a good. I'm excited, and they were good owners too. The original owners, local listing. Let's see what we have here. Donkey Kong, Master Type, and Up and Down. I don't know what that is. Never heard of that. Sega. Micro Maestro. Big 5, Miner 2049er, I think. Big 5 software. A bunch of other ones. I'll spread them out in a minute. And I have never. We borrowed one of these from a friend way back, and then we got before we had our disk drive. Atari 410. It probably works. 410 tape. These are really the benefits for tapes. You know, disk drive was obviously way faster. But the tape was, you could put a bunch of games on one tape. And you could copy the tapes. There was no copy protection at all on tape. So a lot of people did that just because it was easier to copy. Yeah, there it is. Now these things seem to have been really yellowed a lot. We got an Atari cartridge. I have to pick up some of this stuff. We got a bunch of books here. Bunch of stuff. Wow. We got Sam's programming reference. A basic, this is the Atari one, I believe. It says Bob Albrecht, Leroy Finkel, Gerald Brown, Sam's. Maybe this is, says Atari, published. This might be the Atari one, I think it is. VisiCorp, personal software. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to mess with my camera here. VisiCalc, Atari 32K. I think it's like a spreadsheet program. I'm not sure. Synchronized scrolling. Wow. Atari Program Exchange. Home computer product catalog. Wow. Now the 800 is quite retro here. What do we have? Keyboard overlay. Sesame Street keyboard overlay for kids. Atari 800 it says. Wow, never seen that before. And well, we have all kinds of database report. He wanted the guy was like 75 years old. Really nice man. Here we are, owner's guide. Beautiful condition. Beautiful. Yeah. I've never owned one of these 800s. I've been watching Craigslist and eBay, these are going for pretty good, usually over $100, especially if they work. They always go for over $100. This one is not tested, so that's part of this video. We will test it. Atari Software 1984. Look at all this. This is a big book. All kinds of stuff here. Archon and games and wow. They don't make these Atari. Atari's gone, you know. Hey, was that one? Space 1999? It might have been. Tale of Beta Larray. This was a great game. Scroll. Yeah, this is a great game. Great music. I tried to get it working. I couldn't. Leo's electric paintbrush, chalkboard ink, peanut butter, panic. This looks very, very good condition for this. Trying to keep it all nice. Got several tapes, and these are Atari tapes. Success with Math. Bunch of stuff here. Invitation to Programming or something. DynCorp Teacher's Pet. Atari Program Exchange. Video Math flashcards. We had an 800. We got 800 XL when they first came out. Sort of. It was around May 1994. We got our 800 XL. Preschool IQ Builder. Atari Basic. Webster, the word game. Now the owner, his daughter called and said, "Why are you selling the 800? Why are you selling the Atari?" She wanted it or something. So like last minute, I had already given them the cash. I don't know what this says. Something Aves Windman or something. I don't know. So I almost didn't get the computer. I drove up. It was like 80 miles round trip. All right, we got the power supply. This is probably for the more of the 1050. Disk drive. There's a 1050 disk drive in here. This is a power supply probably for the computer itself. It's a CO14319. I don't know if it's any good. I wouldn't be very skeptical plugging that in. And we've got more cassettes here. Our program, I don't know what that is. Writing Programs 1, Writing Programs 2, Atari. These are Atari. The color, I love the rainbow color, sort of rainbow. And a DOS 3 book. This came with the 1050 disk drive, which is here. Now this computer does need a cleaning. It's pretty brown, you can see. Oh, here's another Sesame Street Big Bird's Funhouse keyboard overlay. Very cool. We have some kind of Nintendo thing or something. Now you're playing with power. Nintendo Entertainment System poster or something. Star Raiders. I have a new one upstairs like this. This one, or new condition. This one's been beaten up quite a bit. We have a few more CBS. Astro Grover. With load instructions written on the back. And this is very, very important. Some old, very early 90s RAM for PCs. This is not for Atari. Just these are like, what are they called? Sims or something? I forget what they were called. Hopefully I didn't ruin them touching them with static. We have some kind of, RF thing. I guess they use this computer with RF. Two joysticks. Oops, jeez. Two joysticks. Turn the bright. It's a little dim in here, isn't it? Hold on. There's the computer. It is dirty. Ooh. There's disk drive, 1050. It probably works. These are very reliable. These are very, very reliable disk drives. It's got the SIO cable. And Gemini. Got another SIO cable. These are the good ones, the more squarish or blocky. If you can see how there are other ones that are more round. Okay, there are other ones that are more rounded. I don't recommend those. I've had not good luck with the rounded ones. How do I focus? Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna push all this stuff off. I gotta point this way. And it is dirty. Now, it was sitting in his closet for a long time, since 1992. And is that the Dom sticker? I like the Dom stickers. It does have a little breakage right there. There it is. Wow. Awesome, huh? Dirty. It needs a clean. And the door does work. It did work earlier today. And well, I am seeing something down there. It doesn't, I don't know if this is going to work. There's the Dom sticker. I like the Dom sticker. I don't know why. You always see them. I'm seeing some gunk down there, so I'm going to need to fully, before I ever try to turn it on, I'm going to have to take it all apart, clean it, make sure it looks okay. But the keys seem to work. There's a gap here between the K and J keys. I don't know, maybe that's normal. The keycaps look different than what I remember, but maybe it's just because it's so dirty. All the keys seem to work. I tested that. And it does have the RAM upgrade. I checked. There's the RAM. There's the door. You take this off, and no rust or corrosion on that, huh? That's beautiful. Look at that. But it doesn't have the metal plate here. There it is, the ROM, 10K ROM, and the 3 RAM things. And those are the only slots. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any slots. I think it was because of RF, the FCC regulations, and it was a consumer-focused computer. It wasn't a PC, is not, you know. So I'm going to give it a full clean, and it's pretty gross. But it was in his closet. I don't know why it got so brown and dirty. I think it got wet, huh? See, it's got water. It's a water stain over here on the bottom left shift key. It may not work. It may not work. Alright. Wow, I've never owned one of these. Just having it, even if it doesn't work, maybe it's... The whole thing is certainly worth what I paid. Definitely worth what I paid with the cartridges and everything, but who knows? We'll find out. Wow. These things are... They're such a tank, these things. These aluminum... They never made computers like this since then. The case. But it was expensive. Atari could have waited. They were too early. It's an awesome computer, but it was expensive to produce. Well, here's the underside. Looks pretty good. Not perfect, but it's the underside. And I'm just concerned about water damage. I can see the motherboard through here. It doesn't look crazy bad, but I see some, I don't know if that's solder flux or what yet on the solder points, but I'm not seeing a lot of water damage anyway. We'll see. Alright, I have the case off, the case cover, and that's the keyboard, the top of the case, the underside of it. It's actually, I don't see, I think it's okay from water. But they put this huge aluminum block, most of you probably know. They put this huge aluminum block for RF shielding. And I think the case layout, I mean, it's awesome in its own way, but I don't like the case layout. How, like, there's this big empty space in the case, and they didn't utilize this space fully. I need to dust it. There is some gunk here down the cartridge slot, black stuff or something. I'm gonna go blow it with cans of air now outside. It's got 30 plus years of dust in here. I gotta inspect the caps too. Maybe it's okay. You never know. it may be just perfectly fine. This is the little buzzer that it has its own sound, but this is a separate speaker. It really has a separate buzzer channel thing for the keyboard click and beeps and stuff, but it has main sound out of the sound port too for music and, you know, game sound and stuff. This is not for game sound. This is kind of interesting. Right. Wow, there are function keys on that. See, the function keys go to the power board. That's the power board over there on that right side. And then underneath this you can see a little bit of the motherboard. 4 joystick ports in the front. Is one missing? It is. One joystick port is missing. I can probably reattach that. I think that's port 1. It's missing a joystick port. Not a big deal. We'll see. Alright, it's dusted. And this is joystick port 4. I'm not sure why it's missing. But port 1 is here, and 4 is not... I don't know if I'd ever use it. Maybe I would. But it looks good. It looks... I'm just... put my glasses back on after dusting it. And a lot of dust came out. A lot of dust. I'm not sure why it has two power LEDs. Maybe just for brightness. These are the function keys buttons here. It's not been submerged in water for 6 months or anything like that. It looks better than I had feared. I had feared the worst. Actually, it looks pretty darned good. The case is definitely yellowed. But it is a beautiful, humongous computer. Now let's look at the caps here on the power supply. I guess I didn't get all that dust, did I? Is it bulging? It looks like it might be. Just trying to evaluate if the caps are bulging. A little bit, maybe the one, maybe. But maybe it'll work. It's a beautiful computer, and the quality. This was a quality computer. This was not a cheaply built thing. This was Atari. They did the right things. They made a lot of good decisions. It's still a consumer product. It's not it wasn't like a PC where they were charging $2,500 on a PC way back. This is before the PC though. This was designed and built and made before there ever was something called a PC. Alright, cool. All around, maybe take these RAM cards out of their plastic case, but for now I'll leave them in. These cases actually are beautiful, beautiful. They still have a little bit of original luster on the RAM casings. They do. They look nice. They get hot. These plastic things just make the RAM hot, and it makes it more likely to fail over time. But I think this was used a decent amount, this computer. I don't know how much. This is the power board. This whole thing on the right here that you're seeing, just about all of it except for this part down here, that's all the power board, the power supply. And it has the SIO port and video out, and channel selector and power switches. This is the power switch, and this is power input back here. 5 volts, or is it 5 volts? 9 volts? 9 volt, I forget. I think it's 9 volts. And then that is a RF. That's for the video cable, and that little coil there just is for RF interference. Now, ham radio operators would like this computer back in the day for doing their CQ, their Morse code or whatever. This didn't interfere on their radio equipment. It was better than just about any computer of the day for that. This is the RF out here coming out. So if you don't want the cable coming out of the back, you can just unplug this cord right there. Which I don't need RF out, so maybe I will do that. I don't know. Wow, it's got the DOM sticker. Isn't it beautiful? And I cleaned out I just did air. I haven't scrubbed or anything. There's still a little bit of gunk. And this slot B is almost never used, very rarely. See, Atari didn't need this. They could have saved a lot of cost. That's where the keyboard lays on top of here. Awesome, huh? So cool. They do not make things like this today. A lot of these PC cases modern are actually really, really nice too. Maybe better than this in a lot of ways, of course. People put, people buy $200-300 cases nowadays. Badass. This thing is badass. Alright, I took the front panel off one of the RAM cards. There was something jingling about in there. It was this paper inspection sticker. It was free and, it had come off. And it sounded maybe like a piece of metal. I wasn't sure what it was, but that's the RAM card. These are really beautiful, actually. I almost hate to take the metal casings off. There it is. That's the panel that came off the front of it. Very cool. It's never been seen, hasn't seen light of day since 1981 or 2 or something. Who knows? Probably 81, 80. It's beautiful. No dust. There was a ton of dust in the computer. That is the squeaky clean inside of the underside of the case. Well, inside the underside. Bottom half, whatever, bottom half of the shell. Beautiful. Look how clean and epic. Little scratch right in there, minor, very minor. It's very good. It's excellent in here. No water sat, so there's no water staining or anything. The bottom half of the shell has no cracks or anything. The top half has a tiny, tiny one. Alright, that's the serial number. I don't know what the bottom sticker is about. And it has this Atari 162 number. If you can see. Atari. I don't know what that's about. I've never seen that before. Atari. I have taken the top of the case and scrubbed it with dish soap, and it looks a lot better. I've got most of the grime out from in between the texture on the plastic, most of it, and whatever's remaining I can use some of these alcohol cleaning wipes. I've used a few already. Got this. This is the cartridge door lever thing. Hopefully I can get that back on the way it's supposed to. Anyway, it's been a good 45 minutes cleaning this thing. A little bit of a sticker here. I don't think that's the DOM. That's someone else's, some other kind of sticker someone put there. The power light. See, here's the power light piece of plastic there. Yet to clean that. But I did the underside too. Alright, here's the underside of the top part of the case. These little pegs here, if you get water down them, there's a bunch of them here. There's this one, this, a bunch of these holes. Like if there's a screw, that one's for a screw, and I don't want water to be sitting there for 3 years with a screw, So I did use a can of air and squirt out as much water out of that as I can. This is a power switch for the door. This little black thing. Make sure if you open the cartridge door, the computer turns off. But I cleaned out in there. But all these little screw things, there was a good bit of water in there, and I cleaned it all out with air. But there may be a little bit remaining. Here's the original color of the case. This is how much it yellowed compared to that. This is much closer to the original color. Heat and light. If you have it in the sunlight, it will turn yellow. The sunlight will make it go yellow. See, it's more yellow over here because that's where the power supply sits, and there's heat coming off the power supply. So that turned yellow while this side did not. See, that's that's not yellowed because there's no heat. The power supply was over here. So heat will do that. And sunlight. Pretty amazing. A lot cleaner. It had like, I don't know what it was. Metal. Here's some remaining, some of this metal soot. Or it's not soot, I don't know what it is. It's like a coating of powder, metal powder. Here's some in the corner. Alright, I'm taking the keys apart, the keycaps. This keyboard is amazing. It's definitely a mechanical. I don't know if there, maybe there's, people say there's Mylar, but it's a see, it's making a physical connection under there with two, you can see under there, there's two pieces of copper coming together as I push that down. This is an excellent keyboard. I think there are two different variations of keyboards with these 800s, and one of them is better. I'm not sure, but this may be I think it's probably the better one. I think it's dirty. There was a big old cotton ball or whatever it was of something. I'm taking the keys off. This is a really, really nice keyboard. It's awesome. It's just dirty. Really dirty. Alright, I've got the key. I had all the keycaps off, and now I've cleaned them. And this keyboard, it is awesome. I have the mechanical up here, but these keycaps are way better. These are, the plastic itself is 1 millimeter thick. They just have a very solid feel. Then this is my Corsair K70, and then here's the plastic is really solid. It's got a hugely thick plastic underneath. Look how this is just a great keyboard. Yeah, I think it does have a Mylar underneath, but they're mechanical switches, but there's a Mylar underneath there. And those do fail, but I think overall this may be a better keyboard than the K70. This K70 is obviously backlit. But now look at, I don't know if you can tell how clean and shiny. They were really dirty. I don't know. I don't think it had ever been cleaned. I got a glove underneath just so it doesn't, scratch or damage on the tip. Look how shiny. It's a beautiful keyboard. It is solid. These keycaps are so awesome. And it is mechanical. All right. That was some work. They were really dirty. They had just grime and stuff on them. I don't think it had ever been cleaned. Alright, it's all cleaned and put back together. It's not perfect. I made some mistake. I broke some these plastics on these 800s are very brittle. Can be brittle. And one of the tabs on the reset key, there's tabs underneath the whole, one of those snapped. It didn't seem like it was going to snap till it did. It's brittle plastic. It's old. The 800 XLs seem to be a lot less brittle. These 800s, maybe it's just this one. Maybe you added it on the sun because it has yellowed. Anyway, and this thing, don't take the metal shield. There's a metal shield underneath the top of this. My recommendation: do not take that metal shield off. All four plastic screw threads snapped like off the plastic. Not just, they didn't strip. It just snapped right off. Well, halfway on the two front ones. I still have it on there, and there's a hinge. One of the hinges completely snapped. And taking that metal shield off contributed to that. The metal shield holds the hinge. There's hinges. This will come up, this thing, and now only one of the hinges, it's snapped. The whole hinge snapped. I've got the hinge down here. Here it is. That's the hinge. So don't take the metal shield off. I should not have done that. You live and learn, I guess. That's the hinge, and I don't even know how. The one hinge remaining, I don't know how to get that spring back on. So, if you're not familiar with these, do not take that metal shield. Just clean this plastic. You can scrub it with this brush and get all the grills in there. It's got a lot. This one had a ton of dirt. Fine, but don't take the metal shield off underneath. There was no need for me to do that. Alright, so I've got it all plugged up here. I just need to load a program, and we'll try to boot it, see what happens when I turn it on. Incidentally, I did get the keyboard. It's just a beautiful keyboard. I didn't clean the switches at all. I didn't add any lubrication or anything. That may be something to do later. I don't know. It feels pretty good now, and it is a better keyboard than the 800XL Alps switch. I think it is better. It's just more solid. It is better than the Alps. The Alps keyboard's good though, but this might be better. I didn't realize this was so solid. Alright, so I've got the power plugged in. I'm using my 1050 disk drive power supply. It's the same voltage and everything. I got this plugged in. I guess I gotta get it. Hold on. Okay, maybe I'll just boot the memo pad first, whatever it's called. Alright, I don't know what's gonna happen when I turn it on here. It may not even work. I've got the monitor plugged in here. Disk drive I've got plugged in, but I'm not going to turn it on right now. Alright, let's see what happens. Cross fingers, power light. Oh, that's a good sign. No video. I heard there is a power light. That's a good sign, but no video. Maybe I've got to turn this to S video. It's on S video, but there's no video signal. Alright, let's try again. Alright, if you didn't notice, I am very tired. I've been up and this has been 12 hours on this today. Okay, I had it plugged into the right thing. Oops, hold on, I gotta plug the monitor back. I had a S composite cable and I had the monitor set to S video, so my own fault there. Hold on. Alright, the monitor's set to composite now. It should be. And I have a good sign feeling because it did turn to something. Look at that video. No, there's no prompt. Let's see here. Reset works. I never had an Atari 800 with the speaker down there in the computer. It's kind of nice to have it there. It is. It's a really nice computer. Reset works, so I don't know what's up yet. It's not booting. Let's try. Yeah, the disk drive is... Okay, it's not booting. I don't know why. When I turn the computer off, watch how the light fades here. Yeah, it's like... Before I even switch it, and just touching the switch. Just a blue screen, nothing. I don't know, maybe GTIA. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. Well, guess what? I got it working. It needed a pokey chip. If there's a little bit of sound, there's an audio amplifier chip. But if there's no sound, and it won't even boot, it might be it's probably a pokey issue. You can hear the game. Well, there it is. It's working. It's not perfect. It's just nice to see it working. The case is pretty busted. I've got to disable the power switch to the door thing. There's 2 points you can solder together. Wow. So, you know, and the plastic is brittle. It broke in a few places. Very, very brittle plastic in the case. Now the top of the case so far is so good. But I think in another 50 years this plastic is just so fragile, picking it up it might even break. I don't know. But by then hopefully we'll have the technology to replicate the case easily. This is cool. It's not perfect. It's kind of busted, the case. The door hinge, one of them snapped. Some other stuff. It needed a pokey. It hasn't worked in 25 years or whatever, since 1992. keyboard is awesome on this thing. It's a great keyboard. It is better than the 800XL keyboards. And it's even better than my Corsair K70. The plastic is it's so thick. It's a very solid feel. Very, very solid. Alright. So, intro. Alright. I just wanted to say one thing. The video quality is on the S-Video out is amazing. It's better than UAVD in my opinion. The UAVD video upgrade. I find the UAVD to be dim. The video is just dark. And this is not. I had to bring my brightness way down on this monitor. This is how it should be. I don't know why UAV is so dark. I don't even recommend that as a video upgrade because of that. Anyway. This is almost like VGA, the stock video out of the machine, S-Video. So I'm very happy, very, very happy. So colorful. That's the game and the computer. Alright, now I've cleaned the disk drive external. I could not open it. I took all the screws out and it seems to be somehow sealed. I don't want to pull it hard and snap and not something else in the computer. So here I have the disk drive and it's all plugged up. You want to plug the SIO before you plug the power. You want to connect the drive to the computer before you plug the... That's... Sounds different than mine. Maybe because that one doesn't have a US doubler. I'm not sure. I doubt it has a US doubler. I need to get a disc now. Alright, I've got a disc in there. Championship Load Runner. And the computer now. This is the first time I've used that other power supply. And there it goes. Sounds pretty good so far. Using S-Video on the 800. Let me get the sound. Hold on. There it is. Well, I guess I didn't need to open it. I don't know if it has US doubler. I'm not sure. Oh, there it goes. There it is. This is Championship. I think. I can't remember which. Yeah, this is using S-Video, so you're not going to see the color, the artifacting. In my other video, I forgot the name. It's called artifacting when colors are made by pixel adjacent. Because this is S-Video, so you're not going to see that. But very nice. Alright, so that worked. Beautiful. 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 That's this was the both. Now these 800, it is this case is brittle. And I don't like the 800 cases, but I think this one has been in direct sunlight. Don't leave these computers in direct sunlight. They are antique. The sunlight will absolutely, it will weaken the case. It will yellow the case. They should always be covered, if not in use, like completely covered, and preferably even almost sealed, like in a nice box and wrapped really well and everything. Because this one has been in direct sunlight. This disk drive also has been in direct sunlight. One side is more white, like that side, hard to see in this light, and then this side is yellowish. This and the top is a little bit, but the side is especially yellow. That could be heat, it could be sunlight, either way. But the XL series case are stronger. These are better cases. This is a thinner plastic. This is not as good. The 800 case is not as good. Oops, almost. Yeah, it's just not. The thick. It's just a thinner plastic. The XLs have it's a thicker, better quality plastic in my opinion. And this is just brittle. You see these 800s are like this one is cracked up here a little bit. This is very common. These 800s were brittle. They've always been brittle, and now they're even more brittle. Alright guys.